Border to Border, a comprehensive research on identity and ethnicity in Iran, by Kameel Ahmady and colleagues. Ethnic identity. Iran is a multinational and multi-ethnic country with an ability of contemporary governments. The diversity of ethnic groups and cultures in Iran is a rich tapestry, but it's a tapestry that is currently fraying at the edges. The government's treatment of these groups has become a significant concern, with many feelings that their identities and cultures are not being recognized or respected. To better understand these issues, a study was conducted across 13 provinces in Iran, focusing on 5 specific ethnic groups. The research used a combination of qualitative methods and in-depth interviews to gather data. The study found that there are several factors that contribute to these issues, including economic and ideologic factors, as well as factors related to the media, lifestyle, culture, and poor management by the government. Definition. In this research, identity is explored as an understanding of how individuals define their social belonging, which can be both internal and collective. It becomes a foundation for social and political communication and action, but is primarily formed through interactions and influences within and between groups. Ethnic identity, in particular, has been strengthened for various reasons, including the shared enjoyment of linguistic and cultural similarities within the ethnic group, the development of relationships and interactions within the group, the emergence of movement in ethnic communities, the proliferation of local media, the effects of globalization, the increase in self-awareness, the influence of powerful nations on ethnic leaders, and the expression of specific demands from ethnic groups. Backgrounds and causes. The rise of the nation-state and the proliferation of identity movements in the world have led to the widening of social divisions, with ethnic groups being marginalized and discriminated against by those in power. The exclusive focus on Fars ethnic identity as the National Identity Board of Iran, which effectively reduces it to a Persian identity, has led to conflicts and demands for ethnic identity, particularly in the face of government's inability to effectively address political, economic, and social crises. This has resulted in conflicts between ethnic groups and the central government in many cases. Consequences. The government's handling of ethnic groups under the guise of national unity and security has resulted in a feeling of oppression and widening disparities, further dividing ethnic groups and the government. The result of political identity movements and their suppression by the central government has led to an increase in extremism and a shift towards authoritarian rather than democratic tactics. This has resulted in loss of the meaning of coexistence and peace, and instead has led to a focus on societal security rather than the provision of citizens' rights and economic and social stability, particularly in ethnic regions. This mishandling has resulted in social fracture and a crisis of legitimacy that has continued to present challenges for decades. Some of the findings of the research. The participants of the study, separated into elite and non-elite groups, expressed the belief that certain ethnic groups in the country are not receiving a fair share of economic and cultural opportunities. The cultural dominance of one particular ethnic group have led to the suppression of other cultural groups in the country's history, leading to increased conflicts and negative attitudes towards these groups. The dominance of one particular religious attitude by Shia's majority in the country has led to dissatisfaction among religious minorities. You can see the frequency chart of feeling of economic inequality and discrimination in ethnic groups in the picture. You can see the frequency chart of limitations in ceremonies for ethnic groups and common people in the pictures. GT conceptual model of research. You can see the GT conceptual model, data-driven, examining national identity in Iran, with an emphasis on peace during the years 2018 to 2019. The conclusions of the study are: the current situation in Iran has led to a gap in the distribution of economic and cultural opportunities among ethnic groups, leading to a sense of unfairness and inequality. The cultural dominance of the Fars group has led to a weakening of cultural diversity, which has led to conflicts and the suppression of cultural expressions of smaller ethnic groups in Iran's history. The dominance of Shia's religious perspective has caused dissatisfaction among Iran's Sunni minority population. The suggested solutions to these issues include promoting national unity and reducing gaps between religious, ethnic, territorial, and linguistic groups in society, creating safe educational spaces for studying in mother tongue at all educational levels, implementing reforms to create equality in terms of economy, politics, religion, culture, and society for all Iranians, eliminating discrimination based on gender and sexual orientation, and creating equal employment opportunities, achieving media justice and changing the active role of media to promote solidarity, encouraging the approximation of religions and cultures, utilizing democratic processes and legal capacities, reducing centralization and distributing economic and social opportunities more equitably, encouraging community-based planning and reversing development, reforming the administrative system by giving more power to local managers, strengthening civil institutions, avoiding self-destructive ethnic conflicts in order to achieve lasting peace. The free and online version of this book is now available on Kameel Ahmady's personal website, as well as on Google Play, Google Books, and Amazon platforms.